it's time to get hooked on a feeling and go off the record once again in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Hi everyone, I'm Ben Almaden and welcome to Entertainment Zone. I'm here today for my review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I am a couple of days late posting this, reason being the weekend it was released. I've been away at the Storybrooke UK convention for the TV show Once Upon a Time, so that was pretty cool. I'll probably be posting some pictures online from that on my Twitter, so keep an eye out for that. And then I've just had the last day or two has just been manic, but I saw the film on Monday and I couldn't wait to share my thoughts with you any longer. So the film picks up not too long after Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and you know, the team are trying to do some good in the universe, but still, you know, have their roguish qualities about them. And when they do something that lands them in trouble with the High Priestess Aisha, a chain of events unfold that end up setting our heroes off on another adventure. And alongside all this, Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, meets his long-lost father, Ego, played by the legendary Kurt Russell. Okay, so the first thing I've got to say is that this film is hilarious. Honest to God, so funny. And for me, I thought Drax stole the movie, but also a lot of humour from Baby Groot and also Mantis. Now, Mantis is a new addition to the film, played by Pom Klementieff. And she is the servant of Star-Lord's father, Ego. But she has some hilarious scenes with Drax, and honestly, I've got to give real credit to Dave Bautista because, you know, he's done such a remarkable job portraying this character. He's got great comedic timing and comedic delivery, but he also can deliver great emotions, and he's doing so well as an actor. What I love about this film as well is that all the characters are developed further and given their own storylines. You know, the first film was obviously heavily featuring on Star-Lord and maybe Rocket and Groot more, but everyone gets their own storyline in this, and that includes Karen Gillan's Nebula, who does return. There's some great scenes there between her and Zoe Saldana's Gamora. And also, it's not just Nebula who gets a more expanded role. You know, Yondu gets a great storyline in this film, and a lot more character development. We learn a lot more about his past, his relationship with Peter, and also his affiliation with the Ravagers. We learn more about that. And even the Ravagers themselves, you know, James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, who, you know, he's a great guy, I've met him before. Sean's character, Kraglin, gets a lot of development in this. Honestly, like, everyone that we've grown to love expands more. As I said, there's celebrity cameos in here, there's Marvel cameos and Easter eggs that fans will love. It is public knowledge that Sylvester Stallone is in the film. They've kind of kept his role quiet, but what his role actually is was great, and I hope to God we get to see more of Sly in future films because he did a great job in this. Literally every character gets their time to shine. The film has another amazing soundtrack. If you've not heard it yet, do go and listen to the Awesome Mix Volume 2 because it's a great soundtrack. And just like Guardians 1, Guardians 2 has a great musical opening that I think fans are really going to dig. There's a lot of Easter eggs in the film for Marvel fans. Things that, if you've read Marvel for many years, decades like I have, you'll be like, ah, yes. And there's also one or two little celebrity cameos too that I think people will really love. Also, I've got to say, of all the cameos Stan Lee has done in the Marvel movies over the years, I would say his cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is his best ever. Literally, I was howling. I think long-time readers of the Marvel comics like me will appreciate it so much and will find great enjoyment from it. It just makes so much sense. It's so cool and so funny. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. For me, Stan's best cameo, hands down. Visually, the film just looks incredible. James Gunn has, for a very, very long time, been one of my favourite directors. And, you know, he's just done a great job. He's delivered such a vibrant colour palette on this film. Lots of bold, popping colours. Amazing special effects. And, you know, he's wrote such a tight script that just works so well. It's so funny. It's got some great action scenes in, and it's also got some very poignant scenes in too. Not going to say anything just yet, but what I will say is have a hanky ready at the ending. Yeah, that's all I'll say on that front. The film does have quite a few post-credit scenes. I believe there's 5 in total, and all of them are worth staying around for. The cast are incredible. I've already praised Pom Klementif and Dave Bautista. Kurt Russell's a great addition. He has the same swagger and charm as Chris Pratt does, and their father-son dynamic is so believable. Something this film hasn't done is really push who the villain of the film is in its marketing. But as a villain, I would say Guardians 2 has one of Marvel's more stronger villains. You know, that's one criticism Marvel seems to get, is that they don't do great villains all the time. But I thought the villain of this film was done very, very well. There's a lot of witty one-liners, things that I still think about now and laugh about. I'll admit, I'm a bit torn whether to say it's better than Guardians 1 or not, but it's definitely as good, honestly. Fans are going to love this film. It's not going to disappoint. And, you know, James Gunn has signed on for to write and direct Guardians 3, and I'm so thrilled about that. So, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a Guardians fan, I promise you, you will love this, and you've just got to go out and check it. Phenomenal film. So that's all I'm going to say for now without going into spoilers. So we will go into spoiler territory now, so if you've seen the film, stick around. If not, please go and check it out, and then come back and join the discussion and let me know what you thought. Okay, so it's time to talk spoilers. Let's just get the most emotional part out of the way. The death of Yondu, Michael Rooker. Oh my goodness. I was just floored. When I realised what he was going to do, I turned to my sister. I went with my little sister to see the film, and I just said, oh my God, I think Yondu's going to die. And when he did, it was very emotional. I didn't cry, but I could feel the emotions building. I was like, oh, keep it strong, because he's such a fan favourite, and Rooker himself and Yondu as a character are just so incredible, and to not have them around, it's going to be very, very strange. I loved the post-credit scenes. The Stan Lee one, which expanded on his cameo, was great. Confirmed Stan Lee is a watcher. Makes sense for all his cameos. Loved it. Comedy genius. Teenage Groot was amazing when he's like, oh, I am Groot. I thought, oh my God, please keep Teenage Groot around a bit for Guardians 3, because that was so funny. I loved that in the film we had Sylvester Stallone as Starhawk. That was so cool. You know, they kind of kept it a mystery exactly who he was playing, and to see him as Starhawk was amazing. To then see a number of the original Guardians of the Galaxy in the post-credit scenes, I was like, oh wow. And then, of course, we have the High Priestess Aisha, you know, having the cocoon of Adam Warlock. You know, we have obviously had a Adam Warlock Easter egg in Guardians 1, but this is like proper set up that Adam's coming now. and that, as a fan of the comic books, is just so thrilling to know that we're going to get Adam Warlock on the way. The Easter eggs and cameos in it were great. Me and my sister were howling when David Hasselhoff turned up. We loved the Zardu Hasselfrau line. But then when David turned up later on, that was incredible. We both also freaked out that Howard the Duck was back, you know, friggin' awesome. This film was just, it was just so perfect. And, you know, Ego as the villain, yeah, we kind of guessed that Ego was going to be the villain. And, you know, especially me as a comic book fan, I know about Ego the Living Planet. And the way that Kurt portrayed the role, and the way they tied it into Star-Lord's origin was fantastic. And there was some genuine good twists, you know, the fact that, you know, Ego had spawned all these children and that he had actually killed Meredith Quill was a huge surprise. So I liked that, while some bits were a little bit obvious, James Gunn's script was tight enough to keep surprises coming. The opening scene to Mr. Blue Sky was just genius. Honestly, I just cannot praise this film enough. I'm so glad that Nebula's still going to be around. I hope she does eventually join the Guardians. I'm so glad Mantis survived the film. Pom Clementine, oh my god, all her scenes, like the finding out she's a pet, or that she's ugly from Drax. It was hilarious. And I loved that they had kind of like that romantic undertone between Mantis and Drax. That's something I would definitely like to see explored more in a sequel. And also the scenes between Rocket and Yondu, you know, realising they both have a similar background, were very poignant as well, and that was incredible. So I have nothing but praise for this film. Can't wait for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I can't wait for Avengers Infinity War to see the big team up between the Avengers and the Guardians. It's going to be freaking incredible. So I want to hear your thoughts on the film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I'd be very surprised if anyone hated this film. Did you love it more than Guardians 1? Let me know in the comments. So don't forget, guys, for all the latest film news and reviews, you can subscribe here on YouTube. Entertainment Zone is on Tumblr at entertainmentzone.tumblr.com, and you can find me on Twitter at BLMaden. That's at BLMADEN. So until next time, take care, guys, and speak to you soon.